Hello, this is Augustus, and I'm doing Pro Caelio, section 38. So we're starting here with huic, meaning like to this, then going to tristi, sad, hoc, directo, and sad and like strict, and then seni is old man. So to the sad and strict old man, and go to the subject down here with Caelius, and then back to the verb respondere, meaning Caelius was responding. So to this sad and strict old man, Caelius was responding, and then go and basically supply that, and that nulla or no desire inductum had led, and then this is like to stray off the street, but really it's like to go off the straight path. And then this sentence is simply like what, and then proof, so what proof. So we get all these nulla or nullies in a row, so it's like no, and then sumptus cost, no waste, nulla versa, no borrowing. And that's the end of the sentence. So it's no cost, no waste, no borrowing. And then it's ought, so but, fuit, which is there was, and then fama, which is rumor, so but there was a rumor. So we're going to start here with quotus, meaning like how many, and then quisque, which means sort of like anyone. In this case, it's probably easier to think of like how many people, how many of anyone, if you're going to be super literal about it. And then potest, are able to, so how many people are able, and then effugere, which is the infinitive, so how many people are able to escape, and then istam, which is like a that of yours, but let's just split that up, so that, and then there's an implied rumor from the sentence beforehand, so that rumor of yours, and then in is in, go all the way to here, to city, and then back to Tom, so, and then maledicta, in a city so slanderous, so the whole thing is how many people are able to escape that implied rumor of yours in a city so slanderous. And we continue on here, and we're going to start with moralis, which is like, do you wonder at, are you amazed at, and then go back to wincinium, which is the neighbor, and then of this mulieris woman, so do you wonder that the neighbor of this woman, and then I'll just say is like, has heard bad male about themselves. And then go here to cuius, so like who, and then this gets a bit weird with frater and germanus, so it's like brother, obviously for frater, but then germanus is also like own brother, so I'm just going to interpret the whole thing as own brother. So whose own brother, non potuit, is not able to escape, and then effugere, to escape, and then simonis, which means like discussion or rumor, to escape the rumor, in the quorum means hostile, so whose own brother is not able to escape the hostile rumor. I'm going to start at the beginning right here with Lenny, so like a mild, and then clementi and gentle father, and then vero is like truly, so truly a mild and gentle father, and then cuius modi illes, so like whose manner is, but in this case it's a little weird to say manner, it's probably more reasonable to say something like words, so whose words are. And then ekfregit means like he broke, and then fores is doors, so he broke the doors. And then this means they will be restored. And then it's the same structure down here where it's discidit, which means he cut, and then vestem, which are closed. And then this means they will be repaired. We're going to start right at the beginning here with just Caelius. So Caelius is, and then causa cause. And then this is like, is unencumbered, or is sort of free and loose. And then go to endem, which is for, and then quid, which is what. And then esset is was there. So we're going for what was there. And then go down here to in quo, which is in which, and then not, in which he could not, right? He could not easily defend himself. So we're going to start with the I in this first sentence, and then it's I am not nihil now, I am not now. Dico speaking about that, istam mulierum, not speaking about that woman, referring to Claudia, said but see if, esset, there was, aliqua, someone, istius, that. Dissimilus means like dissimilar or unlike, so if there was someone that were dissimilar, referring to her, but obviously that's ironic because he's implying that they're exactly identical. Quae, who, this means like prostituted themselves to all, so who had prostituted themselves to all. Quae, who, semper, always, haberet, had, who always had, palam, means like open. And then this means like spoken of, or more literally decreed, but probably spoken of. Aliquem, someone, implying that there was someone they were having relationships with. So cuies, that's like who. And then in hortos, in garden, in domum, house, in bias, in like vacation home, so in garden house and vacation house, camerant, was visited, and this is like by the desires, by sort of the lust, omnium of all, and then this is like jure, so rightly or by law. And then it's another who furthermore, this is still referring to Claudia, aleret, was supporting adolescents, young boys, and sustenere, this means like to hold off, so like and was holding off the frugality of their fathers, basically at our own expense with our own money. So this whole segment holds to the same sort of structure throughout, and starts with C, so if, and then this meaning widow, and if it's like if she was a widow, referring to Claudia, and then go down here to the verb, which means was living, and then back up here to libere, which means freely, so if she was a widow who was living freely, and then these three lines all hold to the same structure with the widow and the was living, except they have adjectives describing it that are different. So if she was a widow who was living freely, if she was a shameless widow who was living waywardly, if she was a rich widow who was living lavishly, and the best one, of course, if she was a wanton widow living with the customs of prostitutes. So we're going to start here with the ego meaning I, and then this meaning like am I to think. This is a whole, and you sort of have to supply someone for it to make sense. So it's like, am I to think someone an adulterer? And then go down to C, which means if, and then quis honc, if he, and then go to the verb, if he had greeted. Obviously that's a little more lewd than greeted, but if he had greeted, and then her, with Paulo a little, and then liberis means like friendliness. So if he had greeted her with a little too much friendliness,